Have you ever used the Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey rule to tighten or loosen a bolt, but have gotten confused if the bolt is facing in an unusual direction, such as away from you or maybe downwards? Well, instead I use the right hand rule. And the way I do that is if the bolt is facing away from me and I want to loosen this bolt off of this nut, I take my right hand and I point my thumb in the direction I want the bolt to go, which is away from me, away from the nut. And as you can see, if I do that, my fingers are pointed to the right. So I want to turn this bolt in the same direction as my fingers in order to loosen it. And as you can see, it loosens off of the nut. Now, if I want to tighten this bolt onto this nut, I would use the same rule where I would take my right hand and I'd point my thumb towards me because I want this bolt to go into the nut and my fingers are pointing towards the left. So I'll turn this bolt to the left, which would tighten it onto the nut. And that could be used for any direction. So even if the bolt was facing downwards and I wanted this bolt to be loosened from this nut, I would point my thumb downwards away from the nut, which is the direction I want the bolt to go, and my fingers are pointing towards the left. So I'll turn this bolt to the left and it would loosen, as you can see. And if I wanted to tighten this bolt, I would point my thumb upwards, so it would, I want the bolt to go upwards, and my fingers are pointed to the right. So I turn this towards the right in order to tighten it. Using this rule, it clears up a lot of confusion when the bolt is facing in an unusual direction.